this is gonna be different.
Have you heard of Whatnot? It's an up-and-coming third-party website where you can purchase or sell your collectible items.
Yeah, Funko Pops, Pokemon cards, action figures, comic books. But how great is it really? Let the collecting begin. Hi guys, I'm Jason.
And I'm Lonnie.
And you're watching another video right here on PhoenixPOPtastic, and today we are going to tell you of our experience with Whatnot.
Whatnot.
Yeah, it's a very, very popular selling site where you can get Funko Pops, all kinds of stuff.
Our experience is only for the Funko Pops.
Yes.
As our followers will know, that's all we really do.
Yeah, that's all we really sell on there. I have bought on there, but mostly we sell a lot on there. And there's a few things we want to talk about, but there's a lot of good things as well,
Absolutely.
I guess. So.
And just disclaimer, this is by no way a video to bash this company in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, absolutely not. And we're not sponsored by any of these people.
Definitely not sponsored by anyone.
We're consumers just like you guys. So.
Yep. The intention of this video is to perhaps bring light to some of these issues where there's room for improvement.
Absolutely. And we'll tell you all the good things about it too. So if you've had experience with Whatnot, let us know down in the comments below. And if there's some things that we might have missed that you want to point out, you can let us know as well.
So to start this, let's start on the buyer side of the app.
Because that was really the point of getting the app in the first place, was to buy Funko Pops on it. You can't really sell. I mean, you can sell. We'll get into it all in a minute. But at first, when you get the app, buying is really the main point.
If you're looking for a specific pop, once you search for it, and it pops up, you get there's a little chunk that tells you what the PPG value is of that pop.
Yeah.
So you can then look at all the listings and make sure that you're not being charged too much.
Absolutely.
Because you'll know exactly what that PPG value is. So I thought that was really cool.
I have heard that their PPG is not connected to PPG. I'm not really sure. Because sometimes, like, you'll scan things, it'll be $100 pop, and it'll say it's worth, like, $40. And you're like, what? And then you'll look at the listings, and everyone has it for 100, 150, and you're like, why is it worth $40? And then you look at PPG, and it's worth $100.
That's what you've heard, or that's what you've seen?
No, that's what I've seen personally.
Okay, I haven't. But
I've asked in their Discord, because they do have a Whatnot Discord where you can get feedback and things like that. And I've asked about it, and they said that's based off of market, sales, eBay, things like that. And then there's the shipping rates, which are a lot cheaper than like Mercari and things like that. They're only like $4.50, $5, depending on where you're located. I have seen some that have gone a little bit more expensive than that, but on average, like one pop seems to be like $4 or $5. So not bad at all. A little bit
cheaper than competitors. They also have this super cool little feature where for a fee, you can send them a pop and they can verify it. So they'll make sure that it's not a fake. And it's 100% authentic, especially for those grails that are really, really expensive. Yeah. So that's really cool, because sometimes it is very questionable when you get into those pops that are worth hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. I mean, there's tons that are faked out there, like, you know, the John Wicks or the, you know, if you want to get one of those and you're really not sure, you can send it in.
Yep, send it over and they'll check it out for you.
Yep, and then they'll send it off to you. And then if there's pops that you want but you're not ready to buy yet and you see one, you can click want and it'll go on a list for you. And then if they get more pops in or someone else lists that same pop for cheaper or whatever, they'll notify you. So, or if they don't have it listed as a sale at all, like say you want this Batman pop, but they don't have one on there, when someone does post it, it'll notify you. So.
That is really cool.
Yeah, the want list is pretty cool. Buying overall is pretty okay. I've not had really many issues at all.
It's better than just okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They do have the auctions as well, where you can buy on auctions. Those are pretty fun. You do have to kind of be careful, make sure you have money to buy things, because sometimes there's sudden death where you'll go and it'll be $10, and at the last minute it jumps to who knows what, and if you're that person, then you're kind of stuck with the bill. So make sure that you're ready to buy if you're on those auctions. But buying overall seems to be pretty good. As long as the person packages well. I haven't really had a bad order yet, so.
It seems like most of the pain points come from the selling side.
For us,
so let's talk about that for a second. Backing right up to what he was just mentioning about buying from auctions, when you are the seller on the auctions, it gets a little bit more tricky.
It does. So when we first got into the selling auction part, we got approved. We had put in a few times, I think about a month or two.
Yeah, it took a minute to get approved.
We applied at first, and it says not to apply again, but someone told me, hey, if you keep applying, they'll approve you quicker. And so I was, hey, you do what people say, right? So I started applying more, and we did end up getting approved over time. But since we've been approved, we did the first auction, it was pretty well. Did the second one, that was pretty well. And then after that, it just seemed like it became really saturated.
Yeah, very much oversaturated.
No matter what time you posted your live stream and you'd go live, there would be, 15 other people live as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and
Hard
like
to
some of
get a
them,
crowd.
we would schedule our auction like a week in advance, and there'd be like no one else on the schedule, or just maybe one or two. And then the day of, now all of a sudden there's 19 people all live at the same time, and it just gets a little
It gets
frustrating.
hard. So you end up having to do auctions in the morning or really late at night. And to be honest, my last one or two that I've done, even those times are pretty
Not so good.
saturated.
And then speaking of the time frame, though, it seems like you can schedule for any time you want. And I mean like 10 after, 15 after, 20 after the hour. So some people will be scheduled from 7 to 8, but then there'd be 7:15 to 8:15, and then like
7:05.
Yeah, like just really weird times.
When we first started auctioning, we didn't think it was going to be that oversaturated, but it's gotten pretty saturated.
And we've seen really well established, we're just going to use YouTube channel content creators as examples.
Absolutely.
But we've seen really well established folks not get approved versus folks who are way less established being approved.
Easily.
So it almost seems like there's just some inconsistency on the approving of who gets to go live.
And I swear I keep hearing that Whatnot says that it's specific people, specific criteria you have to meet, social media followings, Whatnot sales, blah, blah, blah. But I swear to you guys, there are people that have been approved that don't have any of that.
Yeah.
And then there are people I know very well that have a lot of that and are still waiting.
Having to prove themselves in order to get in.
Yeah,
like,
being told they need to show that they deserve to be part of the auctioneer, which is kind of funny wording. That guy was not very happy with that wording. It doesn't make sense to me why some people are approved and some people aren't.
And we're still a fairly small channel. I mean, we've got 2,500 subs now.
Yeah, we had about
2-ish.
We had almost 100 sales, and then we waited about two or 3 months, and I applied maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and then we've also known and seen people who have 200, 300, 400 subs getting approved. Which, I mean, obviously no shade to anyone. Cool.
But like 4 or 5 sales, honestly.
Yeah.
And no social media following besides their YouTube channel or something like that.
And again, no shade to anyone.
No.
It's nothing, no attack on anyone or anything,
not.
but it just seems like it's a very inconsistent.
Right.
And so if there are specific criterias that everyone should fall into.
Hey, I know a YouTube channel right now that has almost 1,000 subs, over 1,500 followers on Instagram. They've sold tons of stuff on Whatnot, still can't get approved.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it's whatever. Who knows?
And I don't know what the specific criteria is, so it's hard for me to say like where areas of improvement are there.
Yeah, because it's hard to say what there is, because they say that it's this and this and this and that, and then you expect it to be this and that. That's what we thought, and then we got on there and we're like, whoa, everyone's being approved. Okay, and they're like, no, they're not, and we're like, yeah,
kind of are. And then so now also kind of going back to the time slots for the live auctions. Maybe there's a way to put a more structured schedule together.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can say only 10 people can go live between this hour and this hour.
Right.
And then people can fill in the little time slot, and once the time slots are full.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm going to schedule it for 10 a.m. on Friday. Time slot is capped. Oh, how about 10?
Shucks, then I got to find a different
10,
11.
15.
No.
10, or however.
I don't know. I think it should be like, but yeah, in hour chunks.
I agree.
So
I'm
none
just
of
trying to be
this
reasonable.
7:15. I mean, maybe half-hour marks.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
I just say there should be a cap on when you go to schedule.
Agreed.
If there's too many people for that time, cap it. Let's talk about some of the complaints off of all that. So, like when I sell something, whether it's on an auction or a post, once I package it up, and it's kind of cool that Whatnot gives us the labels and all that. They, we get it on there, we ship it off. After it's shipped off, I have no way of knowing what happened to that package. There's no tracking on my end. There's nothing. I have an address, but that's it. So I'll have buyers reach out to me and ask us, do you know where it's at? No, You should have gotten an email that gives you the tracking, but the seller doesn't get anything. So it's very frustrating.
Well, and then piggybacking off of that, there is no way through the Whatnot app to contact a buyer, seller, like communications.
Correct.
All of our buyers who have any questions are finding us on social media.
Correct.
Instagram or whatnot to ask her, which is fine, obviously. Find us where you can.
Right.
But if Whatnot opened up some sort of communication between the two, that'd be really helpful, I think.
And being consumers, I'm going to say, Mercari, because I don't care, they're competitors, whatever. We're on both. We're on Mercari and Whatnot, as you can see back here. I mean, we're everywhere. So on Mercari, you can easily talk to your buyers and sellers. Like, we can communicate back and forth. Do you know where that package is? Oh, I'll go check the post office and ask them in case it got lost. With Whatnot, there's no way to do that. And I don't know if the buyers understand that, so they need to contact Whatnot and not the seller kind of thing. But it's a third-party app, so most people think to contact who they bought it from type thing. You're going to rate who you bought it from, so why not contact who you know what I mean? So, it's frustrating.
Yeah. Riding along with that, when we as sellers create our posts, our pops to sell, create our listings.
This is a good one.
Each one has to individually be approved, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But it could take a while.
Yeah.
I think there's only been one time where it was like that same day, within a few hours, the listing got approved.
Happened once.
Outside of that, it'll take a day, 2 or 3 days even, for something to get approved. Which, I mean, who knows what their staffing looks like. I don't know what the criteria is for who goes through and approves all of that, but sometimes it can be a little, I don't want to say frustrating, it's obviously not the worst, but it's just one of those time-consuming...
Well, because you want to sell this, I'm going to put this pop-up for sale because next week I'm going to go do this. And then you put the pop-up and, it doesn't get approved for 2 days. And then it takes a few days to sell. And it just pulls out the process of how long it takes to sell something on that app. Whereas Mercari, you post it on there and it's posted. There's no one to approve it. And I understand the approval process, but at the same time, I get frustrated with that, too. I had recently... taken pictures of a pop, and it had one sticker. This pop only has the one sticker. And posted it, waited for approval, and then they sent me an email saying it wasn't approved because they couldn't verify the sticker. And they wanted me to take another picture and send it in of the sticker. I'm like, come on. So I just didn't even post it. I just posted on Mercari, and it sold on Mercari. So they lost the sale on... just because of a sticker, the pop only has one sticker. So why would you want me to verify it? Just weird things like that.
What sticker was it?
Like one of the random Target sticker, or it was a Hot Topic. Yeah, something
that's not even
like
random. That's I didn't say if it's maybe one of those weird,
no grails
that you don't see very often.
No,
like
it was
one of those
newer pop.
Yeah,
on top of that,
weird. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's it. And the only thing I wanted to add about the auctions is that selling a pop for PPG on auctions is really, really hard.
It is very, very tricky.
It's very hard. And you want people to come to your auction, so you want to start at $1, or you want to start, on the lower end.
Because then you have fun with it, and people battle it out, and it's like cool fun, but it doesn't...
You end up selling a $20 pop for $1.
Yeah.
It's just, whatever. So then the next time you put it up for $10 because you don't want to sell it for such a small amount, and then no one bids, and then
but see, and then that makes you wonder, why is that? Is that the crowd that's in there because they're so used to the oversaturation and all the lives everywhere that they just jump between all the auctions and snag what they can for $1 or $2?
She knows as well as I do. She's heard it, seen messages, whatever. It's true. People say, "Man, I get some great deals off of Whatnot." Of course you do, because.
It's like, as a consumer, woohoo, who doesn't want a good deal? But as a seller...
now the auctioneers are doing, mystery box games, and they're doing, winner picks the pop, and they won't just auction the actual pop, because it just doesn't seem to work anymore, because people are just, unless it's a pop they really, really want, then, but again, we have sold pops for a good, decent amount on there before, too, so it's just seems like it every day, and auctions are a roll of the dice kind of thing. I always like to ask questions to companies as a reviewer, content creator, consumer. No one sponsors us. Yes, we have some discount codes, but we are not actually sponsored by any companies. So, we like to ask the questions and find out why we're frustrated with things, find out if other people are frustrated with things, and we hear they are, we want to share it.
On that, though, yeah. But I have also, plus, for Whatnot, They have done quite a few like site improvements, and
The giveaway thing they have now is really awesome. I must say that. I haven't used it
that was
myself
really
on an auction, but
so
I
I
think
mean,
that's
I
cool.
think that they really are paying attention to feedback and
Yeah.
trying to make it the best that it can be, and it definitely makes sense that you start something with one set of expectations, but then it just blows up overnight, and there's so
Right.
many people, and so now it's like, well, how do we do this where it's, you know, most convenient for the most people? And I get it, it's a process, and so no one's hating on any of that
And
at
our
all.
experience is only the Funko Pop side.
It's
Again,
true. It's true as well. So
I
don't
have
know.
bought a little on the Funko Soda side, but I feel like that's the same thing. But as
Oh,
far
yeah,
as
Funko.
cards, action
Yeah, I haven't
figures,
done any of that.
I have no idea if there's issues over there. I have no idea. And they're not really issues. They're just
No,
things
it's just
that kind of
process
were like,
improvements.
eh. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We love you. We'll see you later. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.
On PhoenixPOPtastic.
Thank you to all of our Patreons. Everyone here on the screen are great. Thank you guys so much. Join Patreon today. We have 2 tiers for you to support the channel, a $3 tier and a $10 tier. Join today.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Do it. You know you want to. Click, click, click. Do it. You know you want to. Click, click, click. Do it. You know you want to.